Hello and welcome to All That Matters, a family life program sponsored by the Coconut Grove Seventh-day Adventist Church. We are your hosts, Marilyn George and
Thomas George.
The objective of All That Matters is to equip our audience on how to manage various family dynamics. The lessons will be derived from the experiences of our guests. Today we have with us Mr. and Mrs. Omar Rahming, a fairly young couple who said they have found their soulmates in each other. So let's find out what we can learn from them.
All right.
So welcome Omar and Michelle to All That Matters. We are happy to have you with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
And for our audience, please tell us a little about yourselves.
Well, we were newlyweds. We were married last year, December. So we're coming up upon 1 year now. And it's been interesting. It's been fun, learning a lot of new things about each other and a lot of growth taking place. And, we really love each other. So we're in it for the long haul.
Wow. Michelle?
Well, yes, because of COVID, we're together a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in the house a lot and we're learning a lot more than we would when we were, 95, come home. So I think we've fast forward maybe years of living together
Mm-hmm.
because of this pandemic. So yeah, it's been
Okay.
interesting.
Okay. So you've told us that you guys are in love with each other, but how did you meet?
Well, we met on not social media, but it's an app, a dating app. I believe it was back in 2016, and we both were a part of the app. So I actually reached out to her. I saw her photos and everything, and I guess at the time I was, there was a lot of different people I was talking to on that app. So I sent her a message.
Okay.
I told her I like all of her pictures when she only had one picture on there. And we got to talking, and the thing that kind of made it click was that we found out we both were Adventists, so that kind of set a foundation for us to continue with the relationship.
Ah.
Very interesting.
The app is okay.
Okay, Cupid.
Yeah.
Now, as in every relationship, there is friction. Even between me and my wife, there is always friction. How do you handle friction between the two of you? I'm gonna start with you, Michelle.
For me, I am gonna say how I feel. I don't really hold back. He does. He needs a day or probably two to get it. To get it all. You know what? I didn't. For me, I say how I feel, and then we would have a disagreement. But at the end of the day, I need it to be resolved. I need to know exactly, okay, what is it? How can I fix this? So that's how we basically, when it comes to friction, where we have disagreements that it needs some resolution. How can we fix it so we don't do this again? It probably will happen again, but we try to figure out, okay, what irks you, what it is, so we can resolve it.
Okay, so knowing or hearing that he's the one who more or less internalizes everything and waits a day or two before he comes to should I use the word reconcile? How do you manage? How do you handle that? Right now, do you get frustrated? Do you want him to do it exactly how you're doing? Or have you been able to adapt to his style and say, okay, I know it will take him a few days, so I just have to be a little patient here?
No, I read his body language. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, he'll be quiet. I'm like, no, something's wrong.
She wants to know right away.
I'm like, okay, what's going on? He's like, no, I'm good. I'm like, no. What is going on? What's going on? Tell me. And sometimes he won't, but I'll be on him like, okay, tell me what's going on. And then he'll tell me how he feels. Like, one thing we never do is to shout at each other, but to just let each other know how we feel. And if I hurt his feelings, it makes me feel bad, and vice versa. So we never want to let anyone's feelings get hurt. So if he's hurt, I can see in his body language that I hurt his feelings. I feel bad. I want to resolve it.
Right.
He needs to come together. He needs to be like, let me think about it and I'll come back to you.
Yeah. But we communicated that some years back where we didn't really quite know what was going on, because I always waited like a day. The next day I would come and tell her. So I just need that time to process everything. Sometimes I'm not even sure exactly what's going on or how I'm feeling. So I need that time to process everything. And then I would usually come back and tell her in detail. I'm very thorough in my communication with her. So I explain everything in detail, how I felt. And normally we work it out. Because for her, she needs resolution. She needs to know why I felt a certain way and why something happened. So once I'm able to communicate that with her, it's good. She's good. So, but yeah, it's still a little friction here and there with communication. I mean, it always can be better. And I guess she knows by now that I need an extra day. But sometimes she gets a little impatient and she wants to go right away. So we still, yeah.
Now, in fact, before I ask you that, how long, before you got married, how long did the two know each other?
It was 3 years, right?
3 years, okay.
3 years.
3 years.
All right, so the following question is, what you discover in your wife or your husband after marriage that you wish you had discovered before?
Okay.
Well, I know what it is. I know what she's gonna say.
So she's correct.
I don't know what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He chews so loud. I don't know why I missed that. I read this time, I'm like, why are you chewing so loud? I never noticed. He's like, no.
It's just how I chew.
That's how I chew. I'm like, no, Omar.
Okay.
My mouth's closed. I'm like, I still hear it.
She just told me that. She was in the room and I was in the kitchen just now, and she said she can hear me chewing.
He's just, I'm like, okay, you're really enjoying your food, but geez.
It chews really loud.
I'm like, I didn't notice this before. That you chew so loud. I was so in love with you.
And right now, how do you deal with it?
It's a pet peeve of mine. So I try. I can't.
Okay.
But yeah, it's there. I was like, oh gosh, Omar.
Omar, what about you?
Well, it's a good thing actually. One thing I've noticed, and I've told you, I always tell you this too, is that she has a thing for cooking. She loves to cook. She loves staying in the kitchen, and that benefits me. So I didn't know that before, because when we were dating, we would visit each other, and we would spend a lot of time eating out. Every now and then she would cook, but it wasn't a lot. It was a lot of eating out. So when we got married, moved in together, I was actually pleasantly surprised that he spends a lot of time in the kitchen.
Very nice, Michelle. He loves your culinary skills. So tell us, Omar, can you use 2 words to describe Michelle? If I were to say, oh, please describe Michelle to me, use 2 words to describe her.
She's very honest. Another word, I don't know. I guess she's fun to be around. I enjoy company.
Okay. And Michelle?
He's frugal, which helps me a lot.
Yeah.
Because I like to bargain shop. So that he helps me, ring it in and listen, we're trying to do certain things in life. You can't do it. And for me, he's a very loving person, very affectionate person. And I'm like that too. So it was good to find someone that, is affectionate like that.
Yeah, compliments it right there, right?
Yeah.
Now, one of the objectives, of this interview is that someone else listening somewhere, can get a lesson, because this is being broadcast now on YouTube, on Facebook. So hopefully, someone will get some message to help them. What are some of the things do you say to your spouse during the day, like to keep them going? What are some of the things you say to your spouse, if any?
If for me, I'm very random. So I will randomly say, I love you, or, oh my gosh, we're married. Can you believe it? For him, I know when I see he's there working, I like to encourage him by saying, oh my gosh, that looks good. And I'm just not, don't know for that. It really looks good. Or to give him a compliment, or to do random hugs or stuff like that. Because it makes me feel good that he feels good. So just to give him compliments, because that is one of his love languages, is what is it called again? To tell him how I feel. Like that's what yeah.
So you have read his love language.
Yeah.
Okay. Omar?
Well, I always, compliment her on her looks. I think she's very beautiful, very cute. So it's like almost all the time, like almost on a weekly, daily basis, I'm always telling her, like, man, you look like, I would just kind of catch her, that like a glimpse of her sometimes. And oh, you look good, like you're cute.
Oh, like, really?
So, and I don't know if you like really realize that. I don't think she does, but I think you're really beautiful, like seriously. So
Even
I'm always,
makeup, like no makeup, I'm looking at hot mess.
even better.
He's like,
You've looked in good, Michelle.
So, have you developed complete trust in each other?
yes.
Yeah.
And was that from the beginning of your relationship, or did it take a particular incident for you to realize that I have absolute complete trust in that person?
For me, like once I knew or like decided that I loved her, like it started from there, but it always grows, like it always develops, it always becomes, that trust becomes even more. So it was never a question that, do I trust her? But it always like, gotten better. And I will continue to trust her. She hasn't given me a reason not to.
Yeah.
So I think it started with me first, deciding to trust her.
It grew into that. I wouldn't have married him if I didn't trust him. So that's how it is for me. I wouldn't have done this. I wouldn't be in this relationship if I didn't completely trust him.
So like between me and my wife, I handle money much better than her. So what is your philosophy about money management? Who handles it better?
I'm the frugal one.
He's a gatekeeper.
I'm the gatekeeper, basically.
I have my Excel sheet, and we're planning, and we budget every twice a month what we're going to do or not going to do. We do have a joint account to make sure that whatever we're doing with that account, it doesn't go over. So we always checking it. And of course, as I said, I have a spreadsheet that I've had before I married him, and I just put it together for both of us so we can budget, paying our bills and making sure that everything is paid on time. So that's how we do it. But for the gatekeeper, he's it. Yeah. I'm the accountant. He manages.
Yeah, I make sure we stay focused on what we want to accomplish in the future. Like anytime things get a little, I'll always try to bring us back to, what we're working towards. And what we also do is every 2 weeks, as much as possible, we sit down and we go over our budget, line item by line item, and we discuss everything. And if we need to make adjustments here and there, but we always allow, a little bit of wiggle room because life happens. So that's kind of how we approach it.
So was that a discussion you guys had during the course of the marriage, or it's something that you noticed about each other and you just automatically felt that way?
we had marriage counseling, so that's something that was suggested.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, oh yeah, we need to really do this. But we were kind of like that before, but doing marriage counseling was suggested that we discuss this before, yeah, and do a budget and meet and sit down and discuss our budget.
Okay. Now, so far, it sounds like it's been a good journey, right? But tell us about the wedding day. How was it? How did you get yourselves ready for that day? And how did you transition from being a single person to being espoused to another?
The wedding day I was so tired.
Yeah.
We were very tired. It was tiring because it was my mom and I planning an Omar, and it wasn't my mom did a lot and I helped, so the whole thing was very tiring. Even on the wedding day, I was like,
The wedding, yeah, the wedding night.
after the wedding night, we just went to sleep. They did say it was going to be a blur. Yeah, it was kind of. I was like, no, I'm going to enjoy. No, it was like a lot.
Okay.
And when we got home, because he was working two jobs, and I was trying to do as much as I can with work because I'm more flexible with my job. So doing all the stuff, getting every single thing done. Yeah, looking for a place to live. Like every weekend, he will come up and we'll look for a place. So transitioning to married wasn't hard. It was, I would say, more challenging because I'm used to being in my own space, doing my own thing. So if I'm leave, I can just get up and leave. But now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go here and such and such, or telling him where I'm going and stuff like that. It's different, but we're coping. So it's not a big transition for me, I think.
All right. So you married for almost 2 years now, right? 3.
No, 11 months.
11 months. All right, so I asked everybody that same question. If you were to marry again, would you choose your spouse?
Yeah, of course.
Listen.
Yeah.
Well, with that said, and bright smiles on your faces, we are going to take a break and we will be right back.
Hello everyone, welcome to the People's Views, where we hear the voice of the people. Each week, we will be asking random persons questions based on what is happening in the show. The question for this week was, what is your definition of love? Here's what the people had to say.
Please note that the views and opinions expressed on the People's Views are not those of the Coconut Grove SDA Church or any other SDA church or conference. The views and opinions heard here are strictly that of the general public.
Love is caring. Love is sharing. Love is the joy of giving. Love is like when somebody prepared me a nice plate of meal and said, come on, let's enjoy it. Love is someone says to me, come on, let's go for a walk. Let's go for a walk in nature. Love is of God. So love is everything that we need. Thank you.
My definition of love is being able to treat the person with the respect and have the person, treat you back with respect also, being able to talk to that person about anything, being able to be a natural self around that person. Having them, be understanding, when you make a mistake, because we don't always get it right, but just having the support of that person and being able to give that support back to that person.
Definition of love in a relationship is when two people come together and becomes one. So you are very comfortable with that person, you are very understanding with that person, and both of you guys have great communication. So it doesn't matter what comes your way, everything will be easily to overcome because of the understanding, the communication, and you guys are comfortable with each other and you are one.
In my view, love is a very beautiful thing. But to make that our beautiful thing called love, we have to communicate. Communication is very important in a relationship. You have to learn how to communicate if you can't communicate, because if there's no communication, there is nothing we can bring to the table, because there's some point in that relationship it's going to break down because we're going to know nothing of what each other is thinking. Very important that we communicate. And communicate means listening also. Sometimes we don't have to speak. Sleep on it. Think hard on what you're going to reply to that information that you have received about your partner or anyone in your life. That's my view.
Well, there you have it, folks. Until next time, this is The People's Views, and I'm your girl, Teresa. Bye.
Welcome back, everyone, to All That Matters. And our guest today is Michelle and Omar Rahming. And we are going to continue with a special program titled, How Well Do You Know Me?
Okay, I guess that's when you use your pen and your paper to write down the answer, or your marker, whichever you have.
Okay.
All right, number one, Michelle, which side of the bed does Omar sleeps on? Omar, same question goes to you too.
But you actually write in your answer where you sleep, Omar?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. If you're done, show us the answer. Michelle says the right. Omar says the left.
Sleep on
Okay.
I'm facing this way.
No.
Okay, is that because we're looking at the bed from a different angle?
Yeah.
The bed is
I
right.
think so. It's like,
You're on
this
the
is my
right.
right.
You're on the right side of the bed.
No, but I'm facing that way, facing the bed.
No,
Then you're
you're sitting. The bed is right. You're sitting on the right
Okay.
side.
Okay.
Okay, looks like we're learning the layout of the house right now too. So, Omar, go get that one right, okay?
Okay, Omar, what is your wife's favorite food? And
That's
Michelle,
easy
what
one.
is
That's
his?
easy.
What is Omar's favorite food?
Well, yours.
Oh, mine.
Yes.
Oh God, I don't think I have any. Oh gosh. The dish or this type of food?
The food.
Just the food.
Okay.
All right, let's see those answers. Okay.
Cheese.
Brown stew chicken.
Brown stew chicken. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's be reminded that they are a newlywed couple, right, Thomas? It's just been a few months, so they're still learning from each other. Okay. All right.
Now this one is kind of personal. Which one of you is the most spiritual in the house? Which one calls for family worship and let's pray or whatever? Okay, Michelle, you wrote this answer very quick. All right, let's see those answers.
Okay, they got it right on that one.
All right. And then I think this one will be the last one for now. When did you last say, I love you to each other?
Oh.
Okay, let's see those answers.
Today.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Today. Very good.
Well, thank you very much for participating in How Well Do You Know Me? And we had an even tie there, right? So 2 out of 4 questions each.
Yes.
And they did quite well. So thank you very much.
All right.
Okay, so let's continue asking them questions. So the 2 of you have been married for a short period of time. And you guys are a fairly young couple. And we have individuals, whether older ones or younger people, who are contemplating the thought of getting married one day. What's your encouragement to them? What should they look for in a spouse? And how should they go about that process?
I mean, for me, just make sure you share the same values, especially in the area of spirituality. For us, that's really important. Yeah, make sure you share the same values, beliefs, and get to know the person, like really spend a lot of time with them. We were, together dating for 3 years. And then you also got to decide, you're going to have your, qualities that are good that you see in a person, and you're going to see those qualities that aren't so good and you just have to decide, what am I willing to live with, and make sure the pros outdo the cons by a lot, because there are going to be flaws in the other person. We're not perfect, and as long as the other person is willing to acknowledge those things and to work on those things, and they're not a selfish person, it's all about them, and as long as they're willing to work on bettering themselves, that's what's really important. So yeah.
For me, it's someone that is vulnerable, who does not have a facade like all this macho person, which yes, I'm looking for someone who is like, a strong individual, but someone that knows how to bring down their walls when they need to. Someone, of course, yes, that's spiritual, someone that's kind, someone that's a hard worker. For me, I know that whatever it is that needs to be done, Omar is going to go out and do it. He's very determined. I admire that in him, that he has this kind soul, and he'll do what he can to make sure that things work out. Most times, guys are not going to show you all this stuff. They have this wall up, and it took him a while for the wall to come down, but he did. I was looking for someone that was Seventh-day Adventist, not just a Christian. I don't know, what are the same values, so there wouldn't be any conflicts in the relationship when that it came down to that. And that's what you should basically look for, things that you can value the same. Someone that that is not just putting on, this is really who he is. And someone that's going to love you no matter what.
So a while back, we listened to a family life program, and the essence of the conversation was you marry an individual that's there to bring out the worst in you. And it is your responsibility to do whatever you feel is necessary with that worst that the person have brought out of you. Thinking of that statement, how true is that statement, and do you think that it is an accurate statement?
I'll answer that, because I experienced it last week. He is very optimistic, very hopeful. I am not.
Okay.
I didn't know that. Well, I don't know. Okay, a different way was like, oh. So we were talking about our future, and I was like, but you need to be this and but. And he got quiet because I don't know. And I'm back at it again. What's going on? What happened? What did I do? What did I say? And he's there. He said, you can be very pessimistic sometimes, and it's a turn off. And I'm like, really? So it's true. I don't look for the good in things. Like, you can be working all your life and this happens. Da, da, da. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I was like that.
Right.
So yeah, there's something I need to change. I need to stop being so pessimistic and be more hopeful and faithful that things are going to work out.
Okay. Does the same go for you, Omar?
Like what are my issues? Like what is, or you mean just
Michelle, your spouse, right? She brings out the worst in you, and you recognizing what that worst is gives you the opportunity to work on that character flaw.
Like for me, what it is that I'm very hopeful and have a lot of faith and things like that. But the part that I struggle with is actually putting it into action, like knowing exactly what to do and how to follow through and get it done. I have these great ideas, I want to do this, I want to do that, but I don't do anything for like weeks, months. And she has to remind me, like, you told me this, you told me you're going to do that, but I don't see you doing anything. And I struggle with actually putting my faith into action, making it tangible. And she's very good at that. I mean, she says she's going to do something and she's like, right away. And so I'm very slow when it comes to like getting things done. Like even like this week, she'd asked me to do something. And I know for her, like I have a 3-day window in order to get it done from what I've learned so far.
Yes.
So if I get it done in 3 days, I'm going to hear from her. So like that's something I'm working on.
So for myself and my wife, we have been married for 20 years now, and she still gets me mad. Thank you. She still gets me mad sometimes.
Sure.
And what I do to handle it, I just keep quiet. Now, I want to pose that same question to you. What do you do when, don't tell me you all don't get each other upset. So what do you do, or how do you handle that conflict,
I mean, for me,
do you walk away? Do you remain quiet, or do you respond back with fury, with anger?
I mean, to be honest, I try to prove my point. Like I always try to prove her wrong. Like for some reason, I know it's not good at sometimes, but like I'll go out of my way to prove her wrong. And she always say I'm spiteful.
Yes.
And I don't think I am, because like I want to prove that she was wrong and I was right, and it feels good.
You
Okay, so based on the previous question that we just we asked, right, and seeing that this is a flaw of you that she does not appreciate, even though you are bringing out the point that you were correct about a particular thing, knowing that it irks her, do you deliberately make the effort to say, you know what, maybe I should use a different strategy in trying to show Michelle that I am right? Have you ever thought of that, or are you still persistent in your way of doing it?
Well, I mean, I guess I'm guilty.
Him joy, like I was right.
But afterwards, I'll come and apologize, for my for like how I said it, how
Right. So go ahead, Michelle.
It's the same for me. I know I am very quick, and for him, he's not. So it irks me. So I'm trying to be patient. I'm realizing I am not a patient person, because I know that I can do it, but because I don't want to come off as this do it all and da, da, da. I know I can do it, or bossy. I have to be patient with him, because it takes time for him to do something. I am still trying to be
Okay.
So, but eventually I have to come back and say, I'm sorry, I'm learning. We're trying to, it's always trying to be patient, trying to tell him, I'm sorry, I am learning, I will do better.
Yeah, it takes a lot of patience, and even with her, like when, she's always doubtful and fearful and worries a lot, and I'm always having, like, why don't you believe? Like, just, he's gonna take care of it. Like, just have a hope, believe.
Right.
And it's like, how could she not, after all that God has done for her, how could she still be worrying about stuff? So it gets frustrating, so I have to learn to, like you said, be patient and allow her to grow on her own.
Mm-hmm.
So would you say, Omar, that because of Michelle being involved in your life, that your life has improved to a higher level?
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
Michelle?
Yes.
Okay. So go ahead.
Because maybe all this time I wasn't speaking life into things. I was being pessimistic. And so I don't want to be that person that says something and it changes someone to be like very negative or be this negative person that no one wants to be around. But yes, he's helping me to realize these things. And I'm like, oh gosh, thank you.
Very good, very good.
So when it comes to the home, the house, who is really in charge? Like who does the shopping, the cooking, the cleaning of the bathroom or the house, the vacuuming? Is it a shared responsibility or is it solely one of you?
It's shared.
It's shared. It is.
Yeah, we go grocery shopping together all the time. There's something she enjoys. I don't like shopping, period, but like I would go if she's gonna go, I'll go with her because I need company. If I don't have any company.
Okay. So so guys, give us a typical day in your home from the time you wake up. Just give us a run through, like what's the dynamics there? What's going on?
I think it's different because of we're both working from home.
Okay.
So it's not very exciting. We don't get to go, but we wake up and wash my face and then go straight into the computer. He works overnight, so we might have breakfast. Not together. He goes to bed. It's in the midday where we're kind of like talking randomly during the day. So if he's not asleep, I'm working or we're in some type of meeting. But it's not very exciting.
I get that. I get that. But here's the question though. And this is because of COVID, right?
Yeah.
So will you credit COVID by saying as a result of COVID, you got the opportunity to really see each other and to understand each other, unlike if life was the typical, you going out to work, he's going out to work, and you guys just come back in the evening?
I don't get a chance to miss him. I want that. Before we were working and he lived all the way in Coconut Grove and I live in Sunrise. It took him an hour to get back and forth. So on the weekend it was like, oh God, I can't wait to see Omar. And now I see him all the time. All day. What we kind of have is me time. So if he's in the bedroom, I'm out here. We have our me time. And sometimes he tell me, okay, I need me time. And I have to, and if I come in there and bother Michelle, remember it's me time. It's me time. And vice versa. He knows when I'm on my me time, he comes in and he bothers me and
okay. Well,
noise.
But Michelle, it's 7 going to 8 months since we've been in COVID, right? Yes. And you said that you do not get the opportunity now to miss him.
Yeah.
Do you fall into the trap of taking him for granted, just knowing that Omar is in the house, so it's okay, no big deal, and things of that sort? Do you find yourself falling into that mental trap?
No, I'm actually very grateful for him. grateful, like, oh my gosh, he sees me looking a hot mess. And sometimes he's like, Michelle, you look a mess. I get up and I come straight to the computer, and like I'm very tired and I'm grumpy, and sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, does he still feel me attractive or anything? Because I'm not dressing up to go out to work or anything like that, So I miss, the putting on the clothes and just looking cute and going out. So I miss that, but I do not take him for granted because he sees me a hot mess and still think I'm cute, and I sometimes feel like if he needs glasses or something, feel cute. But he sees beauty in me, like
yes.
Like I love this guy.
Yeah, very nice.
I don't.
And what is the one family scripture that you guys have that it is yours that you use to encourage each other?
I don't think we have one.
If it's not a family scripture, but a spiritual quote or a song that you can use to just encourage the other person.
Well, I mean, we come up with like a mission statement, but it's like a page long.
Tell us what you can. Yes.
It's one of them that I wrote at the bottom of the mission statement. I think it was Jeremiah 29, where God says He knows the plans He has for you, a future and hope. It's that one that I use on our mission statement.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. Well, we are going to take another commercial break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to All That Matters, and our guest today is Omar and Michelle Rahming. We are going to continue with the last segment of our program, and the question that we have to both of you is, you are married. Is this something that you really wanted to get involved in?
Especially with each other.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, that's something I always dream about is having getting married, having a wife, someone I can share my life with, and just go through life with. And I feel like I always told her, like God has really been like blessed me and been good to me, and I want to be able to share that love that I have for Him with somebody else, with her. So that makes it very fulfilling. And
now let me ask you a very personal and serious question. We're getting very deep now. Sometimes I'm in the mood and my wife, she's not always in the mood, and I find a way to to iron out that situation. How would you or how do you, Omar, handle that situation if you are in the mood and Michelle is not?
Or it could be Michelle too is in the mood and yes. He's not.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, like it's difficult sometimes because it's like she thinks I'm always in the mood. So like I know, like for women, like it's not just about the act. It's something. It starts from the week, beginning of the week. So I try to like set myself up. I try to nice to her, touch her and kiss her and compliment her. So I wanted to build up. So sometimes when we get to that, when I'm ready, she's not ready for whatever reason. So
what do you do? Work out? Oh.
No, I mean, I don't really get upset or anything. I mean, I understand. So I give her that, you know, she's not ready yet. So I give her that time and space to get ready or whatever. But there are times where it's just like,
Does it happen to you, Michelle?
Yes. It's happened once when I was in the mood and he wasn't.
It happened one time.
One night.
I was not in the mood.
He wasn't ready, but for me, yes. I can see him preying me or priming me. You know, he's touching me, kissing me, and you know, telling me how good I look, and I'm like,
you know what I'm up to.
I know what you're up to. And so I have to teach him what my what to do, because sometimes for him it takes nothing, and I'm jealous of him that it takes nothing. But I have to teach him how to get me there, which works. Sometimes it doesn't because I'm just really not in the mood. But teaching him what to do helps, because if you don't say it, he doesn't know this from day one. We have to teach each other.
We still talk about,
we're still learning.
Okay, okay.
So what would you like to say to each other now that you have the opportunity? What would you like to say to each other?
Well, this platform, using this platform right now, right? What is it you would like to say to each other that perhaps you've not said it in the past? And having this marriage interview, the things that you have brought to our attention. I'm sure it's not the first time that you guys are hearing it, but say, oh, wow, you know, I could be saying something else to my wife or my husband. So using this platform, what is it that you'd like to say to each other?
I think we tell each other all the time. We talk a lot. But yes, I tell him all the time I appreciate him, who he is. I don't tell him a lot how secure he makes me feel. So when I do tell him, he's like, really? I say, yes, I feel safe with you. And I know that he'll be there to protect me no matter what. So I do need to tell you more often that you are my guardian, you're my protector, and I trust you a lot. I don't say that, and he's like, really? Like, of course. I wouldn't marry you, but I do appreciate him. Like you keep me safe.
Very good.
I have one thing to say. I really want to thank you for helping me to wear shorts again. No, seriously, like I've always been very
conscious,
I guess, because my legs are too thick. So I would always wear pants everywhere I went. Like I was just ashamed of my legs, how they look. I just think they're just skinny. And she would always be like, why you're not hot? You know? And it was like back when we were dating. And I was just like, you know, like, no, I'm used to this. I've been doing this since I was like a teenager. Everywhere I went, I must wear long pants. And she just, so it's like she helped me to like overcome that. So now I'm like, no, I don't care. I wear shorts everywhere now. So, but that's just to say, like, having you in my life has helped me to grow in so many ways, not just physically, but just mentally as a man. And I really appreciate that.
Michelle, let me ask you, are there any occasions, you know, like you all are going out to church or to some function and you have to literally tell him change his outfit?
Yes.
In the beginning, this guy wore some huge outfit. I'm like, you're this small. Why are you wearing this extra large outfit? It was embarrassing. But now it's like I had to. He didn't want to change at all.
It took a while. It took years.
It took a very long time. He said, no, that does not good. And he thinks he looks. And I'm like, no, now that he knows, I don't really have to tell him what to wear. He knows now, and I'm like, whoa, look at you.
No, but it's just like, it's like
what
no,
Go
it's just
ahead,
like
I'm
I was
sorry.
gonna say, like my mindset was like who are you? Like I'm not gonna have some woman like try to change me. So it's like a macho pride thing, like, I'm not gonna have some woman change who I am, pretty secure in who I am and what you know. So it was just like that sort of mentality, and then I started to, as my trust built, I started to see myself differently, and I started to realize, she had my best interest at heart. So I started to like take those chances and those risks when it comes to like dress and like how I carry myself and things like that, because I'm like, she's looking out for me. She can see things that I don't see. So,
right. And you trust her enough to go with what she has opened your eyes to, right?
Yeah.
And I guess you too now look at yourself in the mirror and say, oh my, is that me?
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, so our final question to you this evening, as you are aware, our topic is all that matters.
At the end of it all, what matters to you? At the end of it all, what matters to you?
For me, it's just purpose, living a purposeful life that's in God's will, and not just being about us, about our success, but like being in a position where we can help other people, whether through something like this or like financially or like whatever the situation might be. Like we want to be in a situation where we're helping others and not just waiting until we get somewhere. We want to start doing that now and just live a purposeful life, like have our marriage mean something,
Thank you. Michelle?
For me, is that we are realizing that we're not there yet. We're going to always learn something new. At least during the day or during the week, we learn something new about each other. And he's like, I thought I told you this. I'm like, no, I didn't know that. But we will, I know that we will continue to grow and to be better individuals. And I want to be a good wife to him. And he'll tell me I want to be a good husband to you. And so that's what matters to me, in that we're growing, whether it is career, whether it's spiritually, physically, and everything, that we're constantly growing. Because if we stop, I think that's not a good thing. If we stop growing.
Yes. Well, thank you very much for participating in our program today. To our audience, we'd like to say thank you very much for tuning in to All That Matters, and see you guys next week.
Once again, thank you very much, Omar and Michelle.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
What type of love do you practice in your relationship? Is it conditional love? Is it transactional love? Is it loveless? Or is it unconditional love? The ideal love for any marital relationship is an unconditional love. Unconditional love is powerful enough to compel you to lay yourself bare before your partner. It makes you comfortable to lay your nakedness to a complete stranger, a stranger you feel comfortable or safe enough with to grow old and experience life together intimately. My unconditional love for you will not use your flaws and weakness to cheapen you. My unconditional love for you should acknowledge obstacles and will strive to overcome them. Cultivated or inherited tendencies, my unconditional love for you will always help us create a perfect union. A union governed by godly principles of kindness, mercy, and justice.
So until then, love your partner unconditionally. Help him or her to become the best that he or she can be. Learn your partner's love language. Make your partner feel wanted and make the best of this beautiful union. So until then, this has been All That Matters.